How can we make the world better? By making ourselves better. The Dr. Joe Show explores how you can make positive personal change by using his groundbreaking and highly effective I Am approach to understand who we are and why we do what we do. Your small changes can have big effects.
Join us now for the Dr. Joe Show with Mark Stiles of Stiles Law and your host, Dr. Joe Schrand.
Stretch the kindness, brush with madness. Is it sadness or just a show? Then go, 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 go. Then go, 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 go. Then go, 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 go,
Go.
Marilyn Monroe.
Welcome to the Dr. Joe Show, 2026 edition.
2026. Here we are. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to everyone. And gosh, I really hope it becomes that. I got this buzz here. Yeah.
You have a buzz?
Don't worry about it. Well, not here.
You're supposed to come to these sober.
Well, I am. I've got this buzz in my ear. I don't know if the audience
I
can
do
hear
too.
that.
I have it.
Shall we take the mics?
Ignore it.
Should we take the headphones off? Who
You
knows?
can.
Yeah.
You're crazy
No
guy.
way. Yeah, so Happy New Year to everybody. There's a lot going on in the world. We all know that. The I Am approach sometimes is very difficult to apply because how can you say that this is the best people can do when there's so much going on? Larry, you going to join us? You're just checking out why we got this.
Check. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
But we had a lovely New Year's Eve party. I will tell you that.
And you look very different now.
What looks different about me, Mark Stiles of Stiles Law?
So I have never seen Dr. Joe without a beard, and he is. I wouldn't say you're cleanly shaven.
No.
But you are shaven.
Yeah. So yes,
Beardless.
I am beardless and mustacheless, and there's a little thing growing because it's been like 2 days since I shaved. But
Looks good. You look younger.
you know, it's colder.
You look thinner too.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez, I guess I should have done this a long time
The
ago.
buzz is
maybe.
gone now. Thanks, Larry.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry. Feels so much better.
Buzzkill.
Yeah, so we had a wonderful New Year's Eve celebration. So this is the 100th anniversary of television. Television was introduced in 1926. So 2026, we had our party, New Year's Eve party, where everybody came dressed as some television personality. So I decided I would go as this kid Joe from this old TV show called Zoom.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah, because I am Joe from that old TV show called Zoom. And Carol, my wife, bought me a wig, which, black curly hair, found a Zoom shirt, and my kids said, "You didn't have a beard and mustache when you were on Zoom."
It's a great point.
So I shaved it then. I got to tell you.
Have your kids ever seen you without a beard?
I don't think so.
Wow.
So, yeah, I came downstairs, and Jason, my son, was like, "What?"
Where'd my dad go?
What? And, my two daughters were, "What?" And my wife said, "I preferred you with a beard and mustache." So that's the way life is.
Yeah.
But it's really fascinating to see people's reactions to me. That's really fun. And, like some people just don't recognize me. Today we have our leadership meeting at Riverside Community Care, and it's an in-person meeting and on Zoom, but stuff had happened, so I was on Zoom. Not that Zoom, but Zoom. And I was speaking a little later to Victor Gravio, our president and CEO, and he said, I couldn't stop looking over at the television and say, what happened? So it's kind of fun. It definitely is. It's a change. It's a new year.
I like that. Switch it up.
But there's so much going on in the world, and we don't know any of the real details, right? We are confined to what is shared with us in the world.
It's funny. I was just talking to Larry about that before the show. Is the frustrating part of the whole thing is what is real? What is real versus what are we being spun? It's almost like. I'm having fun with it. I was on Instagram before coming here, and some of the some of the stuff that people are creating.
You sent
with
me something.
AI.
I haven't had a chance to look at what did it.
But some of the stuff with AI,
yes,
it's hysterical.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's creative, right?
Yeah.
People are creating, but you know, I was sending a couple to a friend of mine. He's like, it just stresses me out because I know that I'm not going to be able to tell the difference between real and AI very soon. You know, obviously the satire of the ones I'm sending, the
Right.
humor of the ones, it's obviously
Right.
it's fake. But the news is a little bit disturbing because I feel like there's agenda there, and we're not necessarily really finding that fact. I mean, we've talked about this so many
Right.
times that there's these multiple channels of news opinion, and with the agenda, and it's like, where's the facts? I simply want facts.
Yeah, and we have such different professions, you and I, right? As a lawyer and as a physician, but we still both need the truth
Right.
in order to have an intervention that makes sense and can help other people. So it is very interesting, and I really think that because there's so much uncertainty, that then gets translated neurochemically into cortisol, into stress, and we have this global stress response. And when you do that, cortisol interferes with happiness and pleasure, with dopamine and oxytocin. So it's not a surprise, but what do we do? Is there a solution? And I think that there is one, but it has to be literally at the ground level. Like you and I being able to talk freely because we respect and value each other about the uncertainty that's going on in the world. How do we share that anxiety rather than basically project it and transpose it onto the other person, right? Like today I was in a store, and it was clearly a new cashier, a new register person who wasn't exactly sure what they were doing. And that was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, worked through it. They were so grateful that I didn't stress out because they weren't doing the job well. How are they meant to do it well? It's their first day. But they were grateful that I didn't stress out. That's what we can do for each other. That's the I am. So the best this person could do is what he was doing. I don't need to blame him. And yet, there are times, though, when your I am decreases somebody else's value, you have to be held responsible for that. And that is part of what we need to see in the world. But how do we know? I mean, the stuff that's going on right now, how do we know what's true? And how does that then affect every other decision we make? We know one thing is true, that we all want to feel valued. I stand by that truth. How can we then use that truth to help other people feel respected and valued so that we can all begin to trust each other again, no matter what the large, big agendas are in the world? And there are going to be big agendas. When it's you and the people in front of you, that person in that store who was just learning how to do their job, that's where we can make a difference. I really believe it. Or am I, what do you think, Mark? Just nuts?
I mean, no. I mean, it's beautiful, right? I mean, it's grassroots, it's community based, it's back to basics. It's being that person who affects that change. The problem is there's so much media that's being throttled at us that it makes it really challenging to get back to the basics, because I don't want to say you get brainwashed, but you start to, take sides.
Yes.
And then once you've chosen your side, you don't know what the person across the street or is approaching you, what side they're on. So then you're taking a step back and Obviously the I am approach is take that step back and relook and respect, but there is a reality that, people approach each other very hesitantly right now, as opposed to gratefully and thoughtfully and with value. It's there's a big trust issue.
I agree
right now,
but the root of it is going to be the same, right? Why can't you trust someone? Because you don't feel valued and respected by them.
But you don't even know. You're assuming. That's the I see.
Yeah, that
is
true.
Not a good place to be when you start to think about it, if you're always assuming that the person is not going to value you.
Right.
But why are you thinking that? Because a lot of times that is the case.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Absolutely. A lot of times we're going to be thinking that we are not valued, but what we are very grateful for here at WATD is how much our sponsors do value us, and we feel valued by them, and I want to share their message. So let's take a first commercial break, and we will be right back to talk about this. If you got anything you want to talk about, folks, call it in. We'll take a break.
Hey, folks, thank you for listening to the Dr. Joe Show. We've been investigating whether or not we want to bring sponsors into our podcast. What are your thoughts? Do you know somebody who might be a good partner with the Dr. Joe Show, who may want to align their product or service with the Dr. Joe Show? Think about it.
Thank you, Larry.
Happy New Year, Larry.
With the Dr. Joe Show right here. So it's a new year. Are you a resolutionist?
Well, I always make a resolution to make one.
Oh.
What about you? I'll answer that in a moment, because I haven't really thought about what my New Year's resolutions are going to be yet. But I do know one thing, is that I would like to. Honestly, I'd like to get out on the road a bit more.
What do you mean?
Like not be so confined to doing my Zoom meetings, my virtual meetings, but being in person again, and being in the office, in the building, in person. So that would be great. What it means is a lot more driving.
Yeah.
And maybe less productivity in some ways, but I can always do a meeting while I'm driving. But I think that's part of what I would like to do, is I'd like to be...
Are you feeling confined? Is the work from home becoming the living at work kind of thing?
I'm not sure. No, in some ways, yes, but for the most part, no. I love being home. I really do. And I love my work. And the fact that I can do both with a, half-minute commute is great. Mm-hmm. But what it does take away from is after the meeting, right? When the TV turns off, you are alone in your room, as opposed to after many meetings, right? You're
rubbing
still
shoulders,
right? You're schmoozing. You're talking about what happened the other day, and and
many companies are talking about that with the work from home.
Yeah,
that there's deficiencies.
We never used to do it. How were we meant to know, right? Yeah. This is all new. This is new since COVID, really.
Which is 5 years ago, 6 years ago now.
But how many years had we been going into work?
That's what I mean.
So you're saying it's not very long. 5 years.
But no, it's not new anymore though. And I think the honeymoon is over, right? Yeah. So that whole freedom and I'm not. I could be more efficient. I don't need to punch the clock. I can do the work when I want to do it. It's wearing off for a lot of people because of exactly what you're saying. You're missing out on those social interactions, that human to human connection that, and the younger people coming into the workforce, I feel for them. They're losing out on the mentorship of things at the water bubbler and such.
That is very true. It is very true. Somebody at my work said, why aren't you coming into the office more? I said, well, honestly, what happens is I come into the office, I have maybe 1 or 2 meetings in person, and then the rest I'm in somebody else's office doing Zoom. Because
really?
Yeah, because not everybody is in the same building.
Right.
Riverside, we have buildings, in Milford, in Somerville, in Cambridge, in Newton, in Norwood. In Dedham. It's all over the place. Which is lovely. It's a big, big group that's doing a lot of really great work for a lot of people. But in my position, I have to have and enjoy having all these meetings because we keep building and, it's upper level stuff. So I would go to Milford, have an in-person meeting with the Milford team for an hour.
And then have some personal interaction and how's it going with the family and this and that.
And then the rest.
And then you're back in a room.
Back in a room. Somebody else's room as well. It's not even my own office. I'm taking somebody else's office because I'm not in one place for long enough to have really built an office. This is the first time that this has ever happened to me in any of my jobs. And the reason is because in the other jobs I was in one place.
Right.
Even if I had responsibilities for, a large group, everybody was coming into the one place and having our meetings, and then I'd go to the next meeting and the next meeting, and you meet all these people. Mm-hmm. So, but I wonder whether there is a connection between that and the stress and uncertainty and mistrust that we were talking about in the first quarter.
Probably.
Right? Because we don't have that interaction.
Yeah, because it shuts off. It's all business.
Yeah. And also, there's a very subtle neurobiological component going on here. Have you heard of pheromones?
Yeah.
Right. So a pheromone is basically our ability to smell something that we're not even aware of. And we're all giving off these odors and these scents. And so what about that? If we have no real pheromonal interaction, does that then contribute to our ongoing isolation and our sense of loneliness?
Yeah.
So I think there's so many different things at play here from a neurobiological point of view. And we can sort of distill it down to some of the neurobiology, but then how do you operationalize that and put it into play? And that the IM is saying that is one of the domains. The biological domain is real, just as the IC domain, how I see myself, how I think other people see me, and our home and social domain. Our social domain now has been so constricted, even though I can have a meeting with someone hundreds of miles away.
Right.
I'm still have a restricted social domain. It's really interesting.
Has it caused you to choose not to go out? Has the comfort of it, the habit of it, made you think, I'll just stay in tonight, or
I think
let's not go to that social gathering?
Not so much the after-school stuff, the after-work stuff. I still enjoy doing that. But it is incredibly convenient to be able to have a 30-second commute.
Yeah.
And to walk down the stairs into my office.
Yeah. And then the days that you'll sit in traffic, you'll say, whoa, I don't miss this at all.
Right.
Now, unless you take my advice and buy a Tesla. And use and engage the full self-driving.
Yeah. Well, tell me
and you'll enjoy the driving then.
Well, did you have to get used to that experience, though? What was it like the first time you let your car drive for you was okay? You didn't get nervous?
No. See,
what?
So I'm a little different in that respect. Like I'm a beta tester. I am a early adopter. And, I remember going back into 2018 when it was not called full self-driving. It was called autopilot. And it was very clearly not, good. But I always pushed the envelope with it, always, to to really help the machine learning of it. Because when you pull out of the feature, it'll ask you. It'll ask you, why did you do that?
Really?
And then you put it, so you send an audio clip, so they match the audio clip with the black box video or whatever it is that they have, and it helps the machine learn. And I got to tell you, it is fascinating now. I mean, when I say you plug in an address and you press a button and you don't do anything else, like that is real. We were talking about real and fake.
Yeah.
I'm here telling you, looking at you in the eyes right across the table from you. That is real.
Assuming you plug in the right address.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And part of that
It just went 2,200 miles across the country with zero human intervention.
Wow.
Somebody did that, yeah. So that is here now, which will enable you to bounce around from different locations in your organization and still be very productive and not dread that commute, right? Because you're being transported. Really is what's happening. I'll send you my referral code. You'll get $1,000 off.
Oh, great!
Any listener, let me know. I'll send you the referral code.
Everybody gets.
And then
code.
I get $100 of free charging or something.
But you have to put the right address in. I mean,
Well, I mean, come on.
I know.
Do you put navigation? Do you use Waze or any of those apps when you go places?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I mean, the days of having the map in your lap and doing the grid of the E4 and trying to find it. Remember that?
I remember.
My kids will
maps.
never know that.
No, they'll never know maps. But it's interesting because I experienced a little bit of stress thinking I'm going to let my car just do it all. I mean, how do I trust that vehicle? But clearly,
It's your IM.
you've done it, right?
And I'm here to say, trust it. Trust it. And it yields. It errs on the side of caution. It is, it's really, really fascinating, the advancements that they've made. I mean, it doesn't require a driver. It really doesn't.
Yeah. So what do you do with the time then when you're just driving along and letting your... Does your Tesla have a name? Does it have a name?
Kit.
Kit? So what happens when Kit...
Do you know the reference?
What's the reference?
From Knight Rider in the 80s? You were probably in school.
Yeah.
You weren't watching TV. I was a little kid when there was a show called The Knight Rider.
Yeah.
And this guy, this vigilante, or maybe it was a police officer or a private detective, I don't really know, but his car would summons and come to him. Early
Really?
visions of the future, yeah.
Wow.
Kit, I'm down here on, Park Avenue, and the car would... So, yeah, I called my first one Kit, and I just called this one Kit, too. And
Kit 2?
no, it's just Kit.
Kit.
Also.
Also, Kit
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. But I will tell you that it is, it's a game changer, So what do I do? I'm productive, the government may be listening, but, I text. It doesn't want you to.
Does it tell you, don't do that?
It has a so basically right now, and it's the next version I'm being told is going to alleviate this nagging, which is there's a camera that drops down toward your lap, and if you're not paying attention, it will warn you and it will put you in the penalty box because there's still rules, right? And we're still in beta, and it's supervised. We're supposed to be supervising the vehicle. So you just reach your arms out in front of the camera.
So
in front of the steering wheel, and
you found a way to...
Yeah, because I do believe that it's not necessary. It can do it. And there's probably people listening right now rolling their eyes or actually even maybe getting mad at what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And without understanding and doing, then, how do you know?
Right. I mean, I suppose it's logical, right? If the car is meant to be driving you, why should you be paying attention at all?
Right. And that's one of the things so in the early days when it would knock me out, it would, pull me out of the full self-driving because I wasn't paying attention.
It would stop self-driving?
Yeah.
Well,
first
there's got to be an interesting moment there.
Well, there's a warning.
Yeah.
Right? Now it's a written warning, and then it's a blinking warning, and then it's like a sound, and then it's like and the screen turns red, and it locks, and it starts to pull over.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would always, because then it gives you a message also, like, what happened? And I'd send in a message. I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, you can drive. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you making me drive? Yeah. But they're doing, Tesla has them in Austin right now, driving around without drivers, picking people up and taking them to their location.
Yeah.
Like, the technology is available.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of people like you believing and trusting in it so that the regulations can be amended.
Well, there are a lot of rules that need to be addressed, and one of the rules that we have is that, every 15 minutes we take a commercial break to hear from our sponsors. So we will not break that rule. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with the Dr. Joe Show.
Hey, folks, welcome back. So any thoughts? Do you listen to other podcasts? Do you see how they do the sponsors? Is there a way that they're utilizing sponsors that you enjoy or you don't enjoy? I listen to Smartless, and I really enjoy how the co-hosts share the voiceover for the product or service. It's really funny for the most part, but it's unique. It's them really endorsing. Does that work? What do you think?
Thank you, Larry. We're back. Welcome back, folks. Are you enjoying the conversation?
I am. I hope our listeners are. I think they are, because this is very real. We have modern technology. We have all these things that are accessible to us, and yet we still live in a world where we're tense and there's a lot of mistrust.
Yeah.
And I think, Mark, I'm impressed that you can just give up that control, which means you trust Kit to not get in trouble. There was what about the black ice thing?
Well, I took over.
You took over?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was driving fine. It was, black ice. It was in this like crunchy, gross travel lane, and I looked over at the passing lane. It was late. No one was on the road. And I like, that looks clearer. I don't need to be driving on this crunchy, slushy, whatever material. I'll go over here, and it was black ice. And
thanks, Larry.
and I was there. It is.
It is.
That was it. What a terrible feeling that is. Like it's completely helpless.
Yeah.
Spinning, trying to do what the instincts tell you to do, to steer into it, and and that's why I don't have Kit version 1.0. I would probably still, I know I would still have that car.
Yeah.
I was thinking I will have this car for 30 years.
Yeah.
Because by the way, along with the fact that it's energy efficient and it is a computer that transports you, it has no maintenance. Like there's no oil, there's no motor. It's
a complete electric vehicle.
Yeah. It's a battery and a computer. Like there is no maintenance to it. I filled the washer fluid the other day. That's it. And tires. That's it. Like
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, after the accident it called 911 too.
It called the car did?
Yep. The whole screen went red. All the airbags deployed.
Wow.
It was really safe.
Wow.
It was pretty scary, but very safe, very heavy. I'll never forget when I first got it. It was like October. Well, I got it in September of 2018 when they were on the verge of bankruptcy. And I was going to go up north, and I'm like, I can't take this up north because I was buying it as a vehicle that would transport back and forth to Boston because I had a truck at the time, and we had an office in Boston. And it was really frustrating because I couldn't park anywhere. And Larry's playing with all the
It
sound
really
effects.
is. He's having fun. He's involved.
And I looked at it like a go-kart, like this little vehicle, and this, it's not durable. And we were up north coming back in like mid-October 2018, and there was a white knuckle whiteout on the way back, just a squall of snow. And I was like, oh no, I wasn't prepared for this. I would have, taken the truck had I known, geez, and it was like a tank.
Wow.
It was because it's so heavy. The battery is, at this low center of gravity, all-wheel drive. It's unbelievable. I mean, obviously I sound like I'm an endorsement for Tesla, but I am.
Yeah.
I mean, ask any of my friends.
Get one of them as our sponsor.
I always tell they don't do any advertising.
Oh.
Zero advertising. And the vehicle that I have is for the third year in a row, the number one selling vehicle in the world, the Tesla Y. Zero advertising. Yeah.
It's the number one selling vehicle in the world?
In the world.
But not here in the States, right?
I think it may be, but globally it's the number one vehicle sold.
It's interesting.
3 or 5 years in a row, I think. But yeah, I mean, talk to any one of my friends. I'm always like, if you're going to buy another car, do yourself a favor, pretty please, with sugar on top, and at least test drive one. Because they're so affordable, too. That's the one thing. That was the thing that always got me, is I was like, oh, they must be so expensive. They must be so expensive. And they're not comparable to, the Toyotas and the Hondas of the world. And they're so much better.
It's so interesting, again, how our conversation has sort of moved from this massive stress response in the world to giving up some of that power and control
but I
to
think,
a machine.
Isn't that part of it?
Is that what AI is going to be doing?
Yes, but more basic than that, though, isn't part of releasing the stress, like releasing control and kind of allowing it to be,
Well, that takes trust.
Right. And that's,
And, we can get into faith.
But is it trust and is it faith, right?
Faith is the enactment of trust.
Right.
I mean, that's what I think. Faith is the enactment of trust. I have faith in the universe. I have faith in my fellow human being.
And I'm not going to listen to what the news station tells me about my fellow human being.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my core faith that there are more good people than the news will want us to believe.
Yeah. Well,
because there are more good than there are not good.
I believe that. I mean, one of my colleagues said, with news, if it bleeds, it leads.
Of course.
So why do you think that is? Why are our human brains so interested in that? If you watch the news these days, a lot of the news stations, the last thing they'll do is have a nice story.
Yeah.
It's a nice story.
It's a playbook.
Here's somebody who's done something nice for somebody else. Why aren't people more interested in that? Why don't people go, oh, that's something? Don't you get? I get choked up and teary when I hear these stories of people doing lovely things for other people. It gives me enormous joy to hear that. Right? So, are we being so influenced by these dark stories that we think that's the only thing in the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's where that mistrust happens, where when you walk into the park and you look at that person, you think they're not a good person.
Yeah.
Your first reaction is be on guard.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Right. Now that's not just because of the news, folks. I mean, that is part, but that's part of our limbic survival brain. That's that fight, freeze response. Certainly.
Well, they're teasing it.
Well, yes, that's the thing, is they're absolutely exploiting that part of our brain. Yeah. There's another part of our brain that is about community. It is about the social world. It is about trusting someone. It's about, family, friendship, fellowship. It's about being part of a group of people. And really, the larger the group, the safer you are. But there's a point where it gets so large that person is now a stranger.
Right.
But there's my phrase. Yeah. Every friend was once a stranger.
Yeah.
So every stranger in the world is a potential friend. as opposed to every stranger in the world is a potential threat.
Right.
Why can't we see things like that? Am I too
it's amazing because I sit back and I sit and I talk with you for 7-8 years about this, and yet I still will approach a situation on guard, as opposed to being that one that trusts and believes and is the first to deliver the goodness of it, right? Yeah. Because usually when you are intentional about that and you walk to that and deliver deeply and openly, it's received virtually every time.
Absolutely.
Not every time, but
virtually
sure.
Every
time. It's like appreciated.
And that
good morning.
Right.
Oh, geez, you're talking to me.
Right.
Good morning to you too.
Right.
Other than putting your head down and walking past somebody.
And when you've acknowledged that person in that way, you are basically valuing them. That's what you're saying to them. Right. Is good morning. You're a complete stranger, but I hope you have a nice day.
Yeah.
I'm sharing that with you. And you've heard me say this so many times. Every time you remind someone of their value, you increase your own value. Well, I really believe that's true.
Then what is it about, and I think there is something specific to the region of the country we're in too, where, when I do approach in that way, in the gregarious way, you can feel the eye rolls every once in a while, like, here's the happy-go-lucky guy,
or is it here's a guy that are they trying to con me?
Yeah,
right. Am I going to be duped?
Yeah,
because we have that stress response, that defensive.
So it's very
response.
Confusing.
It's challenging.
Yeah,
but I really do believe. I believe in who we are as people. And
Me too.
And I believe that we are a social animal, and we have developed that biological domain to be a social animal, which accounts for why we have group mentality, why one group really, really will bond together. And the IM is saying, but we are one group. It's called humanity. Let's expand that bonding, so that we can really help each other out.
Yeah.
We really need it more than ever right now in the world, more than ever, because I think that we can succumb to this stress and this danger mentality. And then I think we're just going to be an anxious group of people all the time.
Well, it's kind of what we are right now.
I'm feeling that too. And then that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Right? And SAD is the freeze branch
right.
of fight, flight, freeze. Right? Am I really incapable of changing anything in this world? And I don't believe that anymore. I think we can change. We can do it. That small change can have a big effect. That's what the IM is saying. We don't need to change everything
right.
all at once. You thank that person in the morning. You be more patient with that new employee. You're going to change the world with that small thing, and you're going to give them the opportunity to be that successful person that they can be. You really can.
Yeah, and you're going to have that impact on them. That interaction for that person on their first day is probably going to be a memory for a very long time, that this fellow, Dr. Joe, was so kind during that really stressful moment. And in a couple of years, Dr. Joe may not know that. And that may have had a real impact on that person and how they treat people in their life. And you don't know that.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that when we get back on this, because we had a cool exercise recently about this.
Yeah. I mean, we are being impacted all the time. And we are so grateful for the impact that our sponsors have, because they let us and they give us the platform that we can be talking about this. And yes, we're going to come back to that story right after this. We'll take our commercial break. We'll be right back with the Dr. Joe Show.
Hey, welcome back. And again, we're super grateful for you listening to the Dr. Joe Show. If you have anyone that you think might be a good sponsor, shoot us an email at drjoepodcast@gmail.com. drjoe podcast@gmail.com. Give us your thoughts about the show, too. We're wondering, are we talking to the trees, or are people really gaining value in this? Please let us know. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of the show. Larry. Hi, Larry.
Thank you, Larry. We're super grateful for Larry. Larry Legend Nelson, right here.
Yeah, right here. So before we took the commercial break, you were talking about something.
Yeah, so I was on a call with a group nationwide. So it was a Zoom call, and it was a large group of people. And the person who was facilitating the call said, "Okay, as an icebreaker, what we're going to do is everybody pull out your phone, okay, and find somebody who's in your phone that has made an impact on you in your life." And text them or email them and let them know exactly how you feel. And then if they respond, put their response in the chat.
Great.
And so I reached out to an individual who I want to believe he knows that he had a massive impact on me, but he responded so quickly,
really,
and so gratefully, and so appreciative, and was like, it made his day.
Yeah.
And
do you have the text?
And it felt probably
somewhere in there. Yeah.
It felt so good to show that value, and it's like it makes you realize. Like, I think about this mentor of mine a lot, but he has no idea.
Yeah.
And I was telling you today, I was working from home, digging in and building this product, and really like kind of in the weeds. And I got this call. I looked and I recognized the number. And I'm like, wow, I haven't talked to this person in a long time. And she did the same thing. And I was like,
You mean when you say she did the same thing? What?
She said, hey, I just want you to know that we had a conversation, 8 years ago, and it changed my life.
Amazing, huh?
And the impact that you had, I think about it, and I wanted to share that with you.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy cow. I'm like, you made my day.
Yeah.
I was in the grind of things, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, and you think about that as you go through life, and you're doing the best you can, and you're hoping to impact as many people in a positive way as possible, but you have no idea.
No.
And there are probably, in your case, thousands of people walking around super grateful to have met you and to have, been in your presence and have had your wisdom and mentorship. And I encourage people to do this and let those people know, because, when you show someone value.
That's right. Well, you and I had spoken about this off air a few weeks ago, and I did just that. I texted my mentor, who was my training director during my child psychiatry fellowship. And I said to him, just thinking of you and how much you inspired and influenced me, thank you. He got right back to me.
Yeah.
And he said, my sincere pleasure. And then he said, I'll send you some stuff about the piano
and then
stuff
you're connected
doing.
again. And that's the thing. We ended up getting on the phone and a few days later also.
Right. And I have had people say to me, that thing that you said to me years ago. And I'm thinking, what did I say?
Yeah.
Right? Because
it was in your normal everyday.
Yeah.
And you don't realize the impact you're having on people. Yeah. And that's what I'm hoping that the listener is receiving, that person who had that impact on you may realize they had some impact, but I bet you they don't realize to the extent that they did. Let them know.
Let them know.
Let them know, because they will be super grateful to know that, because we go through life hoping that we're making impact, that we're having that positive influence on people. And without the acknowledgement, I don't know, maybe I'm not.
Yeah.
You know? So I encourage everyone to do this exercise, and this, when you think of it, like, do not hesitate.
Yeah.
Because what is the downside?
Right.
What's the downside?
And
Don't bother me.
And you may
come on.
you may have more than one person in your phone that you want to thank.
You clearly do.
Just thank
everyone
them,
does.
You know?
Everyone does. And it feels so good to do that, because you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're acknowledging somebody for impacting you, and that, you can feel the energy of how appreciative they are of that acknowledgement.
Yeah. And it's very purposeful to say to someone, you did this for me.
Yes.
You may not even realize what you did and how you helped me.
Yes.
You know? And, in our culture, 90% of the time when somebody says thank you, the other person says you're welcome. And for me, that means you're part of my group.
Yeah.
So, listeners, do that. If you have a cell phone, if you got an address book, just pick up the phone, text them. Or you could do something that people did a long time ago. If you have their address, you could actually write them a real letter.
Imagine that.
Yeah. And getting a letter in the mail from somebody who you may not have thought of for years is writing to you saying, I've been thinking of you. Thanks so much for helping me out.
Yeah.
And for helping me be who I am today.
Exactly. Like, I decided to go into this profession because of you.
Right.
And it was whatever. Like,
right.
There's so many little things, like, coaches and teachers, and let them know that they're having impact.
Yeah. And I think that is part of how we can relieve this global stress.
Yeah.
Is acknowledging that there are people out there who you do trust. Let's spend more time with them. Let's remind them of their value. But it doesn't need to be just confined to them. How do we build this trust among each other? And there's really, for me, only one way. And that's
shut off the news.
Well, that wasn't exactly what I was going to say, but it's respect and value.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's letting somebody know through their IC domain that they are valuable. That has an effect on the biological domain. You guys have heard me say this repeatedly. It feels different when you feel respected or disrespected. This means you have an influence on somebody else's brain. You get to choose the kind of influence you want to be. And I think the vast majority of people want to be that good, positive influence that builds somebody else up, that validates somebody else. Why not? Let's do more of that. Let's see whether we can move away from some of these things that are going on in the world, even if it's just one person at a time. If one person at a time does that for another person and they do that for another person, we can make a difference. Mm-hmm. We can make a difference. It doesn't mean that it's a free ride. You're still going to be held responsible for things. But perhaps right now in the world, 2026, maybe this is the time that we can all just make that small change that can have a big effect. Find that person and just reach out and thank them and see what happens. I mean, my mentor got back to me right away.
So did mine.
I hadn't spoken to him in years. Right away. How cool is that?
It's really cool because you can feel the energy of how it made them feel.
Yeah.
Right? Because you know how it feels if somebody were to do that with you. I'm sure people have done that.
Yeah.
But it's not as much as it needs to be, right? No. Like, people need to acknowledge each other more.
Absolutely.
And show that gratitude for each other.
Absolutely. And gratitude has been one of your mainstays for a long time.
Yeah.
Even though we've had this discussion, what for me sometimes is a humorous one, where you feel guilty.
Yeah.
You feel, that gratitude, that it feels so good.
It feels so good.
Is it okay for me to help other people when it makes me feel good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can do that.
It's good selfish.
Yeah. And, you know, think about WATD, what they've done. I mean, they've given us this platform. Folks, we were realizing that this is approaching our 9th year on the air on WATD. Sometime in May of 2026 will be our 9th anniversary. I am so grateful that WATD has given us this opportunity every week for almost 9 years.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It is. It is. And you and I have been doing this together for probably 7 or 8 of those years, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you think about that. How time has just taken us and given us all these gifts.
And I want to let you know, Dr. Joe, you've had an amazing impact on me. Truly, truly.
Well, I'm grateful.
You know, the I am, all of it has been, it's been game-changing for me. So I appreciate you for that.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate that you have been here and been chatting with us and doing the introductions and helping a lot of people along the way as well. So, you know, for me, the I am was something I created back in 1982. But to hear from you, Mark, thank you, that it really is real, has meaning, that means a lot.
Yeah. So listeners, reach out to Dr. Joe and let him know that it means something to you as well.
Yeah. And you can...
Because he needs to know that.
And one way you can do it, self-service, is buy the book, Unleashing the Power of Respect. Yeah. Unleashing the Power of Respect. When is the last time you got angry at someone treating you with respect? And it's a guide. It's a roadmap.
Yeah, it's a good book.
With all these different stories of people who have helped me in my life, what I call my patient teachers, the people who I got a chance to help and then have felt helped themselves and are giving back. So I appreciate that, Mark. We're doing good stuff here. Folks, we're almost at the end of our session today.
So what's your homework, listener?
Yeah, what's your homework? Who are you going to call? Who are you going to call?
Not Ghostbusters.
Not Ghostbusters, no. And let's see whether we can reduce some of the stress. I mean, if we do have a resolution, let's make a global resolution that will just try to be a little kinder, even to a stranger, and make a new friend, and be more patient.
And reach out to those people because, you know, it's going to make you feel really good to know that you made them feel good.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Thanks for your words, Mark. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thanks, Larry.
Have a great week, folks.